Hey guys, this is going to be a short video about an obscure Famicom game that I found recently. This is, I believe it's pronounced Toukon Club, that came out only in Japan for the Famicom in 1992, so it was would have been one of the later releases that came out for the NES had it been released here in America. This is an awesome wrestling game. I'm occasionally, from time to time, I'll pick up an old game and find it and just become absolutely hooked on it, and this is one of those games. It's the best wrestling game that I played on the Nintendo, easily, and one of the better wrestling games that I played, period. It has a lot of wrestlers in it that had the game been localized and released in the United States, it probably would have had to, a lot of things would have had to have been changed in terms of character likenesses and some of those things. But I've been playing this game just a lot in the last several days, and I'm surprised at just how much I like the game. I saw a few videos of it online, some old videos, and wanted to find a copy. I'd actually asked a guy I know who makes repros if he could do it, because there's an English translation. There's not a lot of Japanese in the game, but he said something to do with the mapper and kind of made it too hard to make. So I went online and found a copy in Canada that somebody had and got the game. There's no language barrier per se. It's just you have the title screen here, which I believe is translated Fighting Spirit Toukon Club. In Japanese, you have your menu here. That's in Japanese, but it's basically one player start. That's password. This is 2 players. And this is an option screen that is in English here, where you can do things like set the time limit to no time limit if you want. But basically, the premise of the game is you pick from one of 8 different wrestlers, most of whom are based upon some real-life wrestler from the 80s or 90s, or somewhere around that time, like Giant Baba there at the top. I looked up the translation for this, and a lot of these guys are based on wrestlers I'd kind of vaguely heard of but weren't as familiar with. Some you may recognize Abdullah the Butcher down at the bottom. There's one on here that you will 100% recognize, and I'm going to probably put him in the thumbnail there. It looks a lot like Hulk Hogan, but I think his name, the translation is Iron Lips, which might be a play on Thunder Lips from Rocky 3, and that looks like Road Warrior Animal. Looks like Guile down there at the bottom to me. But you have these different wrestlers, and so you pick your wrestler, and I'll pick Iron Lips here, your Hogan lookalike, and you basically fight one-on-one matches, only one-on-one matches, only option in the game, with these other wrestlers. And I love the music and sound effect in this game too. You fight these one-on-one matches, and it's kind of neat because after each big boot, immediately hit him with a big boot. Missed the leg drop. But after each match, if you win the match, then you get a password, and you get to kind of level up your wrestler, and you can increase his stats in terms of power or stamina or speed. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure how many wrestling games that are old like this do that kind of thing. So I love being able to do that. And after you beat each of the 7 wrestlers in the game, you win the JWA, the Jalico, who produced the game, Jalico Wrestling Championship Trophy. Then you kind of fight another second round against all of the other wrestlers to defend your championship. And in that case, if you lose, it's game over completely. So there is a password system, which is great for a game like this for your first playthrough, but not for the second playthrough. So basically, if you ever get a hold of this game, or if you're ever playing anywhere, it took me a few matches to kind of figure it out. You see at the top there, you have, at the bottom of the screen at least, you have a strength bar. That's what you see. His just went down a lot. I'm trying to drop a leg on him again. He got out of the way again. But your strength bar indicates, as far as I can tell, how likely you are to win a grapple, although he just beat me there on that grapple. But you can do toward dashes like that to knock the guy down. You get the 3 count, which I probably won't get here. I didn't even get a 1 count. Once you get the 3 count, you win, but you can kind of grapple up. You can press up and down and combinations of B and A if you can win the grapple. Reversed it, you can do reversals, you can do some counters. To do different wrestling moves, you press up and down or A and B when you're doing some of those grapple moves. You can throw the guy. I haven't found that you can climb on the turnbuckle, but you can throw your opponent or get thrown outside of the ring like that, back body drop. And then they can do, like he did there, you can do planches or backbreaker on the outside. Another missed leg drop. But you can do attacks over the top rope. The controls are really simple. Again, what I was trying to say is if you play the game, my best advice would be try to pepper your opponent, try to hit him with strike attacks before going in to use your finishing move. Now, if you see the bar beneath your strength bar, the arrows, those feel like his is about to do as you take damage. So that's why his is more full. Now his is flashing now, so you can have these clouds above his head. Now if we grapple, let's see if I can get it. He can do his finishing move. That wasn't it, but you can do your finishing move by pressing A and B at the same time, only when your anger meter is full. And you can do a pretty cool finishing move, which is not guaranteed to pin your opponent. You can throw them into the post like that, hear the little noise. But anyway, I know this is kind of a bit of a rambling review, but again, this is Toukon Club for the Famicom. Just a great wrestling game. If you're a wrestling fan, I highly encourage you to check this out. I've had just a lot more fun that I've had playing newer games in the last 10 years or so. This is one of the most fun games that I've played in years, at least for me. So I want to kind of show it off. And again, sorry for the rambling nature of this. Just wanted to kind of share this obscure gem with anybody who might be interested in old wrestling games. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.